We love Parmigiani. Those of you who've known us for a while know our passion for independent watchmakers, independent watch brands. And I think one of the best ones out there right now is Parmigiani. And today we're going to get hands-on with the brand new Parmigiani PF Sport. Welcome back to Oliver Smith Watches. I am George. This is Elizabeth.
The sport watch for those of you who like to maybe watch sports, but we're not exactly participating in the sport.
Doing this for a living, we get to do some really cool stuff. And one of the things I got to do this year was spend a weekend with Guido Torini, who is the CEO of Parmigiani Fleurier. They had their national sales training out here in Scottsdale with us because it's
so
Scottsdale.
Convenient.
And so yeah, it was just right up the street at the sanctuary. I got to spend the weekend with him, several dinners, great face-to-face time. Doing that, I really got to pick his brain a little bit, get into what exactly he's feeling about this new PF brand, where he wants to take the line, what his thoughts are, who his clients are. It was really cool to get that kind of access.
Was the purpose of the training and the meeting to talk about sport, PF Sport?
It was the intro of sport for sure, but I really think it was Guido kind of peeling the layers back onto what his vision for Parmigiani Fleurier is. And shocker, it doesn't include Tonda graph. The GT is functionally gone.
Right.
In Guido's opinion, it was a bit of a busy construction. It was a heavier watch, a lot more going on in the dial. I love the watch. I've owned two now. We did Oliver's 30th anniversary piece with Parmigiani, and it was 5 of the GT, and then the chronograph version, and then 15 of the three-hander. Love the watch. I loved when PF came out. It was a more elegant solution, I think maybe to a problem that didn't exist.
Yeah.
But it's undeniably a more elegant watch. So PF Sport has come along to directly replace GT.
Right.
And I gotta say, at first blush, I really like it. I know that's not shocking. I'm kind of a fanboy, and you guys know that. But what they were able to do with the watch, particularly the chronograph, they've decluttered the watch. The guilloche is about half the size.
Yep.
Really, it almost looks like a texture instead of a guilloche.
It's really interesting looking, just having a little bit space from you to look at it. You can tell you're like, oh, it's just not a plain white dial, but it's not distracting in any way. I would imagine that would be the goal.
I think the biggest, and yes, nothing's getting in the way of the conveyance of information. You're absolutely correct.
Right.
It is a watch dedicated to a specific purpose, and it does the purpose very, very well. The biggest change, I love the Grand 8. I can actually do like a one-on-one comparison here, and of course we'll do close-ups for you. But the former GT to the new PF, you'll be able to see a lot of differences right off the bat. Grand 8's gone.
Yep.
In lieu of the PF logo. And this is where it got really, really interesting with Guido. His thought process is, and this is going to get a little heady when it's just a watch or whatever, but it's about a level of confidence in yourself that you don't need a label. In thinking about it, I was liking it to Jay-Z when he first hit and first got like a lot of money, became very, very rich. He was labeled out head to toe. You know, he was a billboard for a lot of the bigger brands out there. And then he turned a corner and became wealthy. Yeah. And then the only labels in his suit might have his name on it. Everything's bespoke. Everything's custom. Everything's his. And that's really what you're looking at with PF.
Got it.
It's this discretion, this elegance. The Pantones, the textures, the feel of the strap, everything is elevated to a point where you don't need to throw it in anybody's face.
Right.
If you know, you know. If you don't, book up, learn.
Yeah. It's kind of the stealth wealth idea, which has been a little overplayed this year, but they kind of Parmigiani is the original, and they're the genuine brand for that. Yeah,
and everything's thought about. Everything's touched upon. The Pantone, the colors are incredibly specific.
Right.
And I think with our doing our thing here, I think we got in just the nick of time. I don't think you'll see collaborations again. I think it is really Guido steering the ship, and he's going to do exactly what he wants to do.
Like wearing on the wrist, I feel like the new updated Sport, this would wear much lighter on the wrist.
It absolutely does. Having tried both on and spending a lot of time with GT, it is a different animal entirely. Also gone is the annual calendar.
Okay.
The new one is a straight chronograph. Now, it is a higher beat chronograph. It is, for you watch nerds, it's 36,000 VBH, so it is a full 10 seconds or 10 beats per second. It's a little bit more accurate chronograph. The backside is stunning. We'll get some close-ups here. But the new rotor kind of goes a little bit steering wheel. You can see the column wheels. The finish levels is phenomenal. And the old one was great as well. A bit of a sunburst guilloche. This new one, elevated, elevated, elevated. It is just glorious, and it's for the owner.
I think I read that the oscillating weight in the back is designed after the steering wheel on a GT.
Okay,
maybe
perfect.
A little homage still to GT, but now it's called Sport.
That's exactly what it looked like to me, though.
Okay.
I was like, steering wheel, cool. I like cars.
Car guy.
Yep.
Also, the bezel I noticed right away too. The fluting there's less. It's a little.
And that's going to be your tell with any sort of distance.
Okay.
Because looking at these two across the room, you'd be hard pressed. Mm-hmm. I think the way the light's going to play in that bezel is going to be the delineating factor between sport and non-sport.
Got it.
PF and PF sport, if you will.
Okay.
I love it. Again, every bit of that texture is just phenomenal.
And let's talk about the strap, because I feel like the strap is something Parmigiani is very excited about. It's not just your classic rubber strap where a lot of brands, they take a mold and they fill it with rubber and then it's done. This is like a very detailed woven rubber strap. I think they said there's 3 different versions of rubber in here, all woven together. And then they've attached it to the case in such a way that it looks like it is all one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, to have a rubber strap that really looks like it's built into the case is pretty amazing. I don't know if I've seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, they did it with GT, but not to this level. Again, it's just about taking that basic concept and elevating everything. And for me, it is just what you're doing there. It's the tactile feel.
Yeah.
The touch. It is just glorious on the wrist, in the hand.
Almost like a tire, but in a much nicer way.
Yeah. Fancy, really nice tire. No, you're right. It is the shoes of the watch, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think the idea for this whole line is, it's more of a leisure weekend watch for sport. We're not so much, it's not meant to be out on the field with you. But in my mind, it's like we're enjoying sports. We're watching. We're in our weekend casual Saturday clothes.
Watch, yes. I'm not rock climbing in this watch.
No. But if you're enjoying watching a race from your boat, I think this is a good watch.
So we have a special video coming up, a trip to the F1 in Austin.
Yes, the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin.
Access was insane. I can't wait to hear the stories, so stay tuned for that.
Amazing.
If you like our content, please like and subscribe. If you are in Scottsdale, we have 2 stores in Scottsdale as well as a Panerai boutique. And if you happen to be fortunate enough to be in Aspen, please stop by. We'd love to meet you.